We have a lot of questions that we have asked, that we have been asked from previous vlogs on the past few Mondays. Instead of doing like, I don't know, like going out and about and showing you in stores and stuff like that, I thought it would be fun to answer some questions.
The same stores.
The same stores all the time. Yeah,
really
exactly. Exactly. I thought it'd be fun to take a break from that. So it's not like I've quit doing those videos. It's just that it's nice to do something different every once in a while. And so in those Q&A videos, you all have asked Kevin and I some other questions, and I've written those down. So we had several weeks off because we were doing, we did a lifestyle visit. We went to the Villages, Florida, if you missed those videos. And if you are new to my channel through those videos, we've also, anytime we go on vacation, we do videos. So we took a cruise. We've gone to London like 3 times.
Disney.
We've gone to Disney. We've gone to Hawaii. You know, so there are more vacation videos out there if you like those kind of videos. But this is just where people have asked us questions and we're sitting here answering them. And so hopefully I will answer your questions and we'll see how far we get on these. I might not get to them all during this video. So,
and she likes to surprise me, so I have no clue what that
Kevin has no clue what the questions are. No,
she just
no
forbade
clue.
me from looking at the paper.
Yeah, I've said don't peek at this paper. Okay, how often do you get the question from cashiers, are you having a party?
We do get comments occasionally, especially when we're buying like we've bought like 3 or 4 cakes at the same time, like cakes. And they're like, wow, somebody's going to have a sweet time or something like that, you know. But sometimes we'll buy ice cream. Oh, when we buy a bunch of ice cream, we always get a comment.
The last time I remember specifically was we had gone to Publix for the very first time. And I filmed the store tour. And we went to Louisville to go to Publix. And we were buying so much pizza and ice cream.
Pizzas and ice cream.
Yeah.
It did look like a party.
Literally out of this whole Publix, we were buying chips and pizza and ice cream and not much more than that out of the whole store. And so she did ask. I believe it is also the age of the cashier because certain age people, they usually like to talk more. So
the younger cashiers don't generally ask. It's usually the older,
they don't
oldish
ask
ones
because they're not paying any attention. Honestly, so like we've gone to Jungle Gyms and we've bought
a buggy full.
$800. They're just scanning. They're just trying to get through it as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
they're not thinking or trying to carry on any kind of conversation at all. Now that's not to say all young people don't like to have conversation because that's
they're
not
friendly.
True.
They're just not asking about it.
Right. It's just that usually it's the older people who are thinking, what are they doing with all this stuff?
Could be the younger people are also not judging, and the older people are not afraid to just say whatever they feel.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
The younger people might be thinking that they're just not.
They're
bold
not
enough
saying
to say
it.
it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
But we do get asked occasionally. It's not every time.
It's not very much.
But occasionally we'll get that, especially when we're going like overboard on one type of thing. Then we'll get
because normally we're not doing that
it's kind of
in our
spread out.
week-to-week thing.
Yeah.
It's when we go to a store that we know we're not going to get to again and we are buying a bunch of one thing.
Right.
That's when people have questions. Yeah. Why and how did you start this channel? Well, I've answered this before, but I'll answer it again. Don't mind at all. I was watching another YouTube channel, and I loved this YouTube channel. And it was her and her husband, and she had 3 kids, and I loved watching them, and I thought, gosh, this is so fun to watch. And of course, at that point, our kids were pretty much grown up, you know, and Ashley hadn't graduated high school yet, but Ashley was in high school. And I thought, gosh, I'm interested in watching her. Why wouldn't other people be interested in watching us? And I wish so much that when the kids were younger, I had this channel. I would have loved, there was so much to film. There was always every night I was cooking, and there was always stuff going on and projects and all that. But that's why I started this YouTube channel, is because I had some videos that I thought I can immediately put those videos up that might pique some interest. So like
when we redid the house, that was the first big, like...
From here, when we moved in here. Yeah, when we moved from our old house, that's one of the first videos that's on the channel too. If you go way back, there's a video called My Dad is Moving. And that was my dad moving from this house. And then I've got one, We're Moving. And you can see us moving from that house to this house. And
redoing the floors. That's where you got your biggest growth from, was probably the floor videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those people probably moved on by now, because we don't do a lot of those.
No.
But, you know.
Right.
I don't know how we fell into the food review kind of thing. I think we just started doing them and they became popular. So it's like, oh, okay.
Well, I remember one of the first food reviews we did. It wasn't, I don't even think I was in the video. It was the Lay's. Lay's had that thing called Do Us a Flavor, and they had, you could buy a box
of like 4 or 5
and they
flavors.
had 4 or 5 different flavors in that box. I don't even know that they do that anymore. I think
not the mixed box. They sell the bags. You have to buy the individual bag.
Yes, they got smart and they realized, hey, people want to collect each flavor, and if we sell a full size of each flavor, we're going to make more money. But when we did it, it seems like they came in a variety box and you got each flavor that way.
Which I like better.
As a consumer, yes. As a business, I get it.
Yeah.
But I was watching my nieces after school at the time, Jessie and Sydney, my sister's 2 girls, and they were here. And I remember we got them because I wanted to get the reaction on camera. I wanted to see what they thought. And so it seems like we were feeding them to them during the video, during that first Lay's Do Us a Flavor video. And it seems like it just kind of evolved from there. There was a lot of videos at the beginning where Kevin's by himself. And then I got Kevin to do some recipe videos and like the lemonade bars and stuff like that. And when we first started doing those kind of videos, we didn't even try it on camera. And you know,
here's how to make it.
And some people do that. Some people that do recipe videos, they never try the food, and it's like,
watch the Food Network. They always try their food.
I think if you make it, I think you should eat it too. I think you should take a bite. That's just. But anyway, that's how we got started. See, did you have any specific aims when you first started the channel? No, absolutely not. Not at all. No.
It was really 100% for fun.
Yes.
Just posting some stuff saying, oh, this is fun to post stuff. It was more of a, this is cool kind of thing.
Yes, but now I do
And that was all Tammy. It was not me, by the way.
No, Kevin, this was all me. I do know I don't watch a lot of people on YouTube, but I do know of very specific channels and people that actually went into this as a business plan.
Oh, from the very first.
From the very beginning, their channel was created because they wanted to make their living, and they had a plan.
I think that happens more now than it did. It's been 12 years you've been on YouTube, right?
Probably.
Something like that, 12?
Probably.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So back then, there probably were people planning to make a business out of it, but I don't think it was as much as it is now. Now, you know, it seems like everybody's got a plan to get on YouTube and make money. That's what the plan is. And so you see it more often now. I don't think you see it as often back when we started.
13 years.
Yeah, 13 years ago. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, 13 years ago. Yeah. So that's how long.
And some of you have been with us since the very beginning. So thank you.
Yes,
thank you for sticking around.
You've grown up with us.
Yeah.
What are your go-to cheap meals to have or to make? Well,
it counts on what you're talking about. Like for me and you, It'd be different than like a cheap family meals coming over.
Well, Kevin and I really aren't worried about, I have to go back to when the kids were growing up, because Kevin and I
we don't really make meals.
We're not worried about cheap meals nowadays. We're not worried about stuff like that. But now when the kids were growing up, I would take my calculator and I would have my list and I would have a plan. I would make out a whole meal plan. That's what I'm saying. You all would have loved it if I had been vlogging then, because it was a lot different. It was a lot different then. But for cheap meals, you can't beat tuna casserole, and it feeds. It's a lot of food for not much. You only need a few ingredients.
Macaroni and cheese is pretty cheap. Even homemade macaroni and cheese, not the box kind, is relatively cheap.
But even if you're just gonna, I think
pork chops can get.
See, I think stuff like that's gone up so much now.
Yeah, that's true. Cube steak, they used to be pretty cheap back in the day.
I like to make things that'll go far. So a pot of chili will go far. You'll have leftovers. Vegetable soup, you'll have leftovers, because you can make a lot of vegetable soup out of one roast. And if you're vegetarian, you don't even have to buy the roast, and it's really really cheap then. Yeah. But we always had roast in ours. But I like to make like big pots of stuff like that, to where you'll have leftover spaghetti, just spaghetti. And back then with the kids, we didn't put ground beef in our spaghetti back then. It was literally spaghetti and spaghetti sauce. We were buying ragu.
Sure. Yeah.
We were buying spaghetti and ragu. You can't get any cheaper than that. Those two items, and
we might get a couple slices of bread and put some toast and sprinkle some garlic powder on it or something.
Yeah, we weren't buying Texas toast but honestly, that's probably the cheapest meal that I could recommend for a whole family. If you buy a 1 pound box of spaghetti and just a jar of Prego, you can feed a family of 4.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of spaghetti.
And if they like to eat a lot, just add some toast to it with some garlic on it.
Or just some butter.
It's just toast.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we literally, we don't eat meals. Like, we might eat sandwiches, and we kind of go on our own, don't we?
For the most part, but we do, like if I'm doing a review, of course, like when we did the Chef Boyardee frozen meals.
Yeah,
or when we do pizza, or when I'm doing a recipe video, stuff like that. We have meals, but a lot of time, most of the time, because it's just Kevin and I, it's like every man for himself is what my dad used to call it.
But I buy the things I want to eat, and she buys the things she wants to eat, and then we just eat those.
So and everybody's happy.
Yeah, we don't generally cook regular like meals for both of us, because it's easier.
Like we used to.
Yeah. Trying to look at her paper.
Every day your videos show you wearing different clothes. Do you change your outfits several times a day, or do you select the videos to air when the clothes are different? That's a very good question, and it's both. It's both. So, typically, we'll do probably 3 reviews every single morning, and I'm wearing the same shirt in every one of those videos. But I will schedule them for different days. Also, I know we did these 3 videos this morning, so I'm going to schedule this one for Monday, this one for Tuesday, and this one for Wednesday, just so that people aren't tuning in every day and seeing she's wearing the same clothes in every single video. I do that on purpose. I absolutely do. So if you pay attention, you'll see, oh, today's Thursday, but I recognize that blouse from Monday or whatever,
most guys won't have pre-notice.
No. But do I change my clothes several times a day? Yeah, I do. I have already changed I was already wearing one blouse this morning to do reviews. And then I knew we were going to do this video, so I put on this blouse. And when we're finished making this video, I'll change into a t-shirt, because I like to get on my treadmill. I like to walk a lot, and I'll be wearing a t-shirt. I don't want to wear a blouse all day to walk. And so I will. So I probably change at least twice a day. At least twice.
I don't change.
Every single day.
I don't change it all every day.
And to me, it's no big deal.
Yeah, I keep the same clothes on every day.
Yeah, Kevin doesn't get on the treadmill.
No, I'm not on the treadmill.
No.
I don't even want to go outside, so why would I get on a treadmill?
What does your dad and sister think of your channel? My dad is so complimentary, you would not even believe. He's just, we can be on the phone and he'll literally almost like gush because he's happy. He's, especially now, I think he's always been proud of me doing this and the channel. And I always say, I wish so much my mom was still alive when I decided to do the channel. She would have loved it. Oh, she would have loved it so much because Kevin and I every weekend we go out to the stores and we're looking around for stuff. She loved searching for stuff, and it would have.
She would have loved that.
Oh,
the hunt.
The hunt, the thrill of the hunt. They loved it.
Plus, they went in odd stores that we would never go into.
Yes, and my dad likes to drive around places, and he thinks nothing of driving. He's like Ashley, our daughter. He thinks nothing of driving around to different.
Going out in the country, little country stores, and all kinds of places.
Yeah, so trust me, if they were still a team, if she was still alive, they would have loved it when I was doing this. But I think Dad's always been proud. But I think, especially since he's moved to South Carolina, this channel gives him a way to, we talk.
See what's going on.
Yeah, we talk all the time on the phone. And we'll talk for an hour at a time. But it keeps him like, he can see me and he can see us talking and he can watch the videos. And I know like, he watches all of our videos. And so he's very proud. And my sister, she doesn't have time to watch every video. I do know she does watch some videos. But I think Jennifer's very proud, and I think her husband John's proud, and I think they love it.
They like that you do it. They think it's cool.
Yeah.
And they've even looked in stores and said, "Hey, says it's new. Have you ever tried it?" Most of the time we have.
Yeah,
but,
she'll contact me and she'll say, "Hey, have you tried this?" Or like, I don't tell Kevin this, but like even on Facebook, she'll send me messages and say, "Oh, look, this is new and it's coming out." And but I think they both.
Yeah.
I think
she just doesn't have the time to
watch every
She's got new grandkids
video.
and everything. She doesn't have time.
She's so busy. She's very, very busy. And then the next question is, what do Andrew and Ashley think?
I think Andrew watches them occasionally. Like, but he doesn't watch very many of them. But he's busy too.
I think Andrew and Ashley both very, very, very rarely watch any of our videos. Very, like, if I were to say, you should watch this video because I'm talking about you during this part or something like that, he would watch it. I really do not think either one of them watch the video.
No, I do know that for a fact Andrew is proud that you have the channel because he's told people at work.
Yes.
He's got people to subscribe to her that you know, from where he works at and stuff. So I know he's been very complimentary.
Well, what'll happen is we'll try a bunch of stuff and save it up for him, and he'll take it into work. He'll take
3 grocery
bags of food into work. And a lot of people, if they're new to his work especially, they're like, where is all this coming from?
And it's usually weird stuff.
Yeah, what in the world? Where are you getting all this stuff? And he's like, my mom and dad have a YouTube channel. And so he is very, very proud. I think Ashley is proud too. And because it has surprised me that she's come around a lot.
Yeah.
There was a time where
when she was younger, it was like, you know, your parents is embarrassment.
Yeah. It was a complete embarrassment.
Your parents are embarrassing you.
Yeah, I think it was an embarrassment, but
she was young.
I think there's several things that have happened, and I could be wrong, but I think age, number one, just age and maturity. She realizes, hey, this is their career, and I'm proud of them. But number two, I think when I made it to Snoop Dogg's Instagram, that
really impressed her.
That was a pretty big deal. When your mom and dad are on Snoop Dogg's Instagram, then it's like, okay, I can take this seriously now. But no, I think she's always taken it seriously, but it's like, you know, I think the respect, you know, I just think that upped it a lot by that happening. And I do know that she has told people about it. And I think too, with social media in general, so many more people are doing different types of social media that it's more common now than it was when we first started 13 years ago. It was like, they're an embarrassment to like, this isn't weird anymore. This is 2024 and this is what people do now. And so I think things have changed a lot.
Yeah, just like filming, when you're out and about and you're filming stuff, it's not as strange to be filming out because you see other people doing it. Especially when you're on video. When you're on vacation, I mean, when you're on vacation, we don't even think about it. We just film. Who cares? Because everybody's doing it.
Now, I said several times that when we were in the villages, I really was trying not to film.
To show people especially.
Because you didn't see people filming there.
No.
You didn't.
And the ones that do, we didn't see anybody film, but the ones that we've watched their channel, sometimes they're almost to the point of being rude about it.
I think so.
A few of them
I've seen, there's a couple that I've seen. One particular YouTube channel, and he will just walk into a restaurant and just be filming from the time he's walking in. The server, everybody in there, and it's like he didn't even ask, or he's not trying to be like to try not to show people. And I just don't want to be that person. Yeah. I'm watching his video thinking, gosh, that's really rude. Yeah. And I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me. So when I went to the villages, I was very mindful and that I was not going to be that type of person.
And when we showed restaurants, we would sit down at the table and then we would kind of pan the camera around, tried to get above people's heads.
And try to be discreet. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, will Ashley ever start a channel? I'm going to say no. I don't think she would.
Imagine that.
But I have...
Never say never.
I have encouraged it. I have encouraged both of them. I have said to both of them, you should start a channel. You should do this. You're young and you have things that people would be interested in. Both of them, both Andrew and Ashley, lead completely different lives, and people would be interested in both of their lives. I think for
well, Andrew has thought about like streaming video games and stuff like that.
Yes.
But first of all, he's so busy and his schedule is all over the place. He would never have a regular schedule.
Busy.
And he never knows when he's going to have the kids. He's watching the kids. So if you're streaming, you really don't want kids running around screaming and yelling, not screaming. But you know what I mean, talking and all that stuff.
You said they call them squeakers?
That's when you got little kids playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's when you got like 10-year-olds playing games.
Okay.
Because of voice. But, you know, you don't want to stream with little kids running around, and he never knows. So he's kind of, right now, he's kind of put the idea on hold, and he might do it one of these days. But, he may not ever.
Yeah, Andrew might do it one of these days. I do have just a glimmer of hope that Andrew will do it one of these days. I think he'll regret not doing it earlier, but he can't.
There's no way he can.
But Ashley, I don't think Ashley will ever do it.
No, I don't think she still has that little bit of, just like we were talking about, that little bit of an embarrassment kind of thing. Of I don't want to put myself out there, and it's a little embarrassing to be there. So she still has a little bit of that feeling for herself even. So.
And unfortunately, you know, I have learned, well, I just don't care what people think. I just don't, period. People can say whatever they want to say about anything, and I just literally don't care. Because like if I got people that were to come to the grocery haul and say, all you all buy is junk and processed food, I don't care, because it's my money. And I'm going to spend it the way, and I'm going to spend it the way I want. I don't care what you think. Ashley, though, if she were to get that same comment, it might really bother her. So I think that's where we're different people, is I have learned that I just literally, I'm not trying to impress anybody. You know, a lot of people on Instagram, that's what it's all about. It's impressing people and putting the filters on and all that stuff. I just don't care. Either you like me the way I am or you don't. And some people are not for YouTube. And I think that it would probably bother her if she got some of the comments that I got. She'd start it up and then she would stop because it would bother her.
We've had other YouTube channels, not us, but we've watched other YouTube channels and they've done the same thing. They started getting kind of the gruff, hateful comments and they just quit. They said, I don't want to put up with it. Whereas we get them and Tammy's like, whatever.
Or you can tell where people change things because of comments they got.
Right.
So like I know somebody who like would have certain, she would have like a little scene in her video and people would comment on that little scene. And so she would go back and take it out. And it's like, oh, heck no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that just because you don't like it. This is my video. This is mine. If you don't like it, hit the road, go somewhere else, you know. Not everybody is for YouTube, though, and not everybody can handle the kind of scrutiny. Whereas for me, I just delete and go on, and I have forgotten about it in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
We also get a lot of support from you all, too, because sometimes somebody will say something kind of not snarky or whatever, and you guys will jump up and defend us saying you all are wrong. You know, they're not like that at all.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I've been here for 10 years and that's never occurred. You know, that kind of thing.
And we
that's
greatly
awesome.
appreciate that. Yes, yeah, we appreciate. You can tell when
kind of like having your big brother around behind you. You know, they're standing up for you.
Well, you can tell when somebody all of a sudden you see a new commenter, and people that come here all the time and comment all the time, they know each other. And then you see somebody new come in and say something completely off the wall and negative. You're like, you've never even left a comment here before. You're brand new, and no, go away. So yeah, that's so anyway, I do not think Ashley would ever start a channel. How did Kevin become so crafty?
I was always encouraged. My dad's view of life, for me at least, was always, I want you to do better than me, which was awesome, you know, because not all parents think that.
Yeah.
My dad was always, here's where I am in life. I want you to be here. You know, I want to do everything I can to get you up higher than me. I don't want you having to go out and spray for bugs every day. And not that that's a bad profession, not judging it. That's what he was doing. And he didn't want that for me. So he always encouraged me. He bought me science kits. He bought me models to put together. I was always putting together, like glue together plastic models and the snap togethers before that, you know, before I got old enough to do the glue. He was always buying me crafts and things to put together because he wanted me to kind of, he always wanted me to be an engineer, like putting things together, making things and building things and creating things. Never quite got to the engineer part because it just wasn't interesting to me. But he always encouraged me to kind of learn how things worked. And so that's why I took apart most of my toys when I was little. Sometimes they don't go back together again the way they're supposed to. Right. They don't work anymore. But yeah, I mean, and he never got mad about that. You know, they would spend money and I would take some apart and put it back together again and something wouldn't work on it anymore. But he never got mad about it because he was like, well, he's figuring out how things are working. You know, he's learning. So I think that's what started it, is because, you know, I got working through models and building stuff and learning how things work. It's just, I don't know, I enjoy that. I still enjoy that kind of stuff.
But a lot of people would think, I would think that computers and putting together computers from, like you got them in a box, didn't you? Then they weren't put together?
My very first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in parts. So he signed me up. This is another thing. He signed me up for a computer repair or servicing kind of class. It was late 80s. So it was a PC. You got pieces mailed to you. Like you got the case and you got this and you got that and you got this and you put it all together over a couple of weeks. That was my first computer. But it's still all putting things together and how things work together. It's the same philosophy as doing anything else.
But some people would say, how do you go from computers to making a scarf? It's
all puzzles to me. Okay. It's all like a puzzle.
Right.
I really don't enjoy putting puzzles together.
Maybe that's just too easy for you.
No, puzzles annoy the heck out of me. They take too long is what the deal is. I don't see any results or something. I don't know. Puzzles are just something I don't necessarily love to do. I've done we've done many puzzles together. But
we've always done puzzles together since we first got married.
Yeah.
We've always done puzzles.
So I don't mind doing puzzles, but that's wouldn't be my chosen way to do it. I'd rather sewing is a puzzle. You know, cross stitch is a puzzle. You know, making something develop out of nothing. You know, It's all puzzles to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you give your dad all the credit for that.
Dad was 100% the reason why I got into all that stuff. Yep.
Okay. What crafts has Kevin done over the years?
Oh Lord.
Paper.
Purses. I've done purses, sewn dresses, made sweaters, knitted sweaters, socks. What else did I do? A scarf. You still have that scarf. You don't wear it as much, but you still have it.
You made Ashley a sweater.
Made Ashley a sweater.
You made me a sweater.
Made you a sweater. Made lots of socks. When I got into knitting in the round, I made a bunch of socks.
Made Ashley dresses.
Dresses, sewn those. What did you say at first?
The purse was kind of like a Vera Bradley purse.
Yeah, I made a bunch of those.
The paper crafts.
Oh, I love to do paper folding. Like you kind of like, it's 3D models, but it's made out of paper. So you cut them out and you bend them and glue them together. And made a bunch of those. Cross stitch, I think that's craftsy.
You did that big London, is that the cross stitch?
Yeah, that's
okay.
cross stitch, yeah.
So yeah,
I done did the dots, the diamond dots. I think that's craftsy. The Middle Earth stuff, of course, I did tons and tons of those.
Yeah.
Models.
He can do.
I've done models. I don't enjoy the models as much because I like the gluing together part, but I don't like the finishing detail part.
He doesn't want to paint it.
I don't want to paint. The decals and all that stuff. I don't care anything about that. I don't care about the final product. I just want it glued together. I like the putting it together part, but I don't like the decorating part.
Right.
Because I'm not if I've got instructions on how to do something, I can do whatever. But when it comes to me being creative with something, that's where I fall. Personally, I think I fall short. Is when it has me creating something from nothing. That's hard for me to do.
Right.
Like painting, a model. Well, okay, what colors would you put on this car? How would you do the pinstriping? What would you do? That is just that's where I fall short.
I was just thinking, if you and Dad had ever thought about it when he was living here, if you had pulled your forces together.
Yeah, I could build it. He could paint it.
Yes, because he
loves to paint.
My dad does love to paint.
Yeah.
The reason I thought of it is because he builds these great big Clydesdale models, and he'll build them and paint them, and then he'll put them in a really nice
plexiglass box
with lights and all that. Somebody just bought his. They traveled from somewhere else in South Carolina, and he sold his latest Clydesdale.
Well, they're expensive to buy because they don't make them anymore. So you have to find somebody that's got them, and then he has to put them together and put all that stuff into them. They're worth a lot of money.
But he's really, really good at the painting part, and he enjoys that part, whereas Kevin enjoys putting the stuff together.
Yeah.
So it's a shame we didn't pull you all together, but I wouldn't have never even thought about it. Okay.
I'm sure there's other ones. I just can't think of any right now.
Is it true that if viewers watch the commercials prior to your videos, then you will get paid?
I don't know how YouTube doesn't tell you exactly how things work. They're never going to tell you exactly how things work, because if they did, you would play the system, right? So they're never going to tell you exactly how their algorithms work. People have speculated.
I have heard people say, "Oh, watch all the commercials."
And you get, but we don't know. I don't know. No, they don't know. Honestly, you make money based on there being ads in your video. Do you get more if those videos are watched more? Maybe. I don't know. Just the fact that you have ads in them will make you money. If you click on things, then like the thumbs up, or if you comment and things like that, that doesn't make you money, but it puts you higher up in the search engine. So when people search for a particular type of video, like a food review, and we have a lot of interaction with our video, we will be higher up in that search list than others would that didn't have a lot of interaction. So that's kind of how it works. But like I said, YouTube's never going to tell you exactly how it works.
Don't you think ultimately, though, what it boils down to is the number of clicks per video?
How many people watch the video?
How many people watch the video?
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it. The more people that watch, the more you're going to make.
That's what you will notice about my channel. And that's what I've tried to say is I'm not yes, I have a lot of, my subscriber number is big. And I'm so grateful for it. I'm very grateful for it. But a lot of people have the misconception, and there's some website, it's a complete lie, that says,
like Social Blade or something.
Yeah, like it's like this person is estimated to make this much money, and I'm like
$450,000 a year.
You're out of your freaking mind, because that will never happen. But I think the reason for why a lot of people think that I make more than I do is because of that subscriber count. Really, that's not what it boils down to. It's how many clicks you get per video. Look at my videos. I don't get that many clicks per video.
She gets more than a lot.
I'm grateful for what I get. Yeah. I'm very, very grateful. I would never want anybody to think that. But when you're looking at PewDiePie or whatever his name is,
millions of views.
Yeah, exactly. Versus me that'll get 800 or 900 views. That's a big difference, you know. That's a huge difference, and so
even the channels that are getting there's some channels that we have watched. They regularly get 40 to 50,000 clicks. Their subscriber number is lower.
It's low.
But their clicks per video, the number of people that watch that video is a lot higher.
So I bet you
they're probably making triple what we would make.
I'd say they make big money every month because they're getting 40,000 views on one video every single time.
That one video, if they did that one video a week, that one video is probably making as much as all of Tammy's put together for that week.
Yeah, yes. And so if you wonder, why do you put out so many videos a week or a day?
It's volume.
It's because I'm trying to get clicks. I am trying to make a little bit, you know? And so that's why I do it. So I'd say it helps watching the commercials.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Tammy, did you ever go to college or take college classes? Did you ever say what your degree was in? I did go to college. I went to several different colleges, and I stuck with one for about a year, and then I stuck with another college for about a year, and I racked up a lot of debt, student loan debt, and I never got a degree in anything because, quite frankly, both of the things I went to school for were things that my mom wanted me to do. My mom thought that she would have liked to have seen me do several different things, and she really pushed for that because she wanted me to do something, you know. She wanted me to be able to make some money, and but you have to be interested in it yourself. You can't go to school to do something that somebody else wishes they had gone to school for. You know, you can't, it's not going to work because you're not going to be happy doing that.
And see, they probably didn't nurture you from a very, very young age to go into those kind of things either. Like my dad was always, even when I was really little, was encouraging me to do kind of the engineering building kind of thing.
Right.
You probably didn't get that until right at the time you were ready for college, and it's like, hey, you should go do this.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things that when I was little, I wanted to be a teacher. And I would play school and everything. So even at a young age, I was upstairs in the room right above us.
That's a pretty common.
Giving out spelling words and writing on red on papers and
Barbie.
And stuff like that. But I'm glad ultimately that I didn't end up being a teacher because, well, first of all, right now I would not want to be. I feel bad for teachers these days because they have to put up with so much.
And don't get paid nearly enough.
And they absolutely don't get paid enough.
It's amazing. Since Ashley's been a teacher, it's amazing how much money they have to spend of their own money. Mm-hmm. People seem to think that teachers get all this stuff for their classroom for free and the district pays for it. All that stuff. They don't. Ashley pays for so much on going around.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But I've said it before, I have a mouth on me, and I would have gotten in trouble with my mouth. And so, because
it used to be worse.
I usually don't sugarcoat things, and if I feel a certain way, I'm going to say it. And I would have gotten in trouble as a teacher. So it's just best that I did not complete that education.
And what was your next one? Which
My
would have
next
been even worse.
Would have been even worse. My mom thought, oh, she should go into nursing. So, yeah. I
could picture her going into a patient's room telling them off.
Listen, I went into an LPN program, and a licensed practical nurse, and it was like a 15-month program, and I finished like a year. Out of the 15 months, I finished a year.
You were up to your practicum.
What I didn't realize,
clinicals.
The clinicals, what I didn't realize was that I had done everything, like literally, like at this time, this is how they did it. Like the first year, you were in the classroom the whole time. It was book learning. And then you get to the point where you have to go into the VA, at least that's how it was.
Or nursing homes or wherever.
Yes, nursing home did that too. And I saw things that I had never seen before. And I thought, and smelled things, saw the sights, the smells. And I said, no, cannot do this. This is not for me. This takes a special type of person.
Yeah.
This takes a
very commendable people.
This takes a very caring person. You need to have some empathy. You really need to have the certain special qualities about you to be able to do this. That ain't me. So I do not have a degree in anything.
You took some classes at Bluegrass when I was working there too.
Oh yeah, I did. When Kevin,
just general classes.
Yeah, I did.
Because they were free.
Because they were free, I went back and took a class or two,
yeah.
But it never came of anything. But I took them because they were free. But no, I don't have a degree in anything.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I would love to know if Kevin would ever shave his beard completely off.
For enough money, I would. I would not intentionally go and shave my beard off. Mm-hmm. Just like one day say, I'm going to get rid of my beard.
Right.
I wouldn't do that. I did that once when the kids were really young and they all cried and got mad at me. So I grew it back and never did it again. I prefer the beard, honestly. I like the beard. I actually get lazy and don't shave for a while. So you'll see some of these videos, I look like a mountain man. But I actually prefer it shorter. It's just I get lazy.
I like that though. For enough money though.
Yeah,
for
give me enough
money.
If you donate enough money, I'm not going to say how much that would be. You could just throw money at me, and when I reach that number, I'll do it.
But, links in the description below. Yeah.
But no, I mean, I've had the beard for so long that I'm sure there's pictures or videos of little old videos of me without a beard. But I look so different when I was young that I don't even think I look like the same person.
I don't think Kevin looks like the same person, no.
When I was, like when we first got married, I literally do not look like that person anymore.
No, not at all. Even if you go back, like I said, we've been doing this for 13 years. I'll pull up a video I'll be looking for something specific, and I'll pull up a video, and your hair was just as black as night.
So.
It's amazing how dark his hair was. And
that's what marriage does to you, turns it gray.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, this is a really good question. What would you eat and drink every day if calories were not a thought? If you did not have to, let's say you're your perfect weight, and we're just magic
calories
people,
go away.
And you're never going to gain any weight.
I don't have one particular, well, I mean, I love a good steak and potato. But I also like a good cheeseburger. So, I mean, it would probably be steak and potato, cheeseburgers and fries, and pizza. Those would be the three things I would regularly eat. Mm-hmm. As far as drinking goes, I throw in a milkshake occasionally, but I mean, I don't think I would change what I drink.
You don't think you would go back to regular Mountain Dew?
No, because I've gotten the regular Mountain Dew just doesn't even taste good to me. It's very chemically, and it's not even good. I don't even like Diet Mountain Dew anymore. It just doesn't taste good to me. So I probably wouldn't change what I drink, honestly, because I'm so used to drinking the diet. I like it. So, I mean, why change? I really enjoy drinking the tea. So, you know, I wouldn't change the drink. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, me, I would drink.
Oh, and I would also eat ice cream every night.
Oh, yeah.
I would eat a bowl of ice cream.
How could we forget
every night? I would have a bowl of ice cream.
Probably vanilla. But
no, I like
there's nothing wrong with
other
that.
stuff.
But there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, you and the ice cream. Okay, for me, I would probably still keep drinking Coke Zero because I love Coke Zero. I just really like the flavor of that. I would, every single night for dinner, I think I would eat a pizza. I think I would look forward to.
There's so many different kinds of pizzas too.
There are, but I would get like one night I would eat a Motor City, and one night I would eat a Screaming Sicilian, and I wouldn't be worried about this thin crust crap. You know, I mean, I like thin crust.
I like thin crust anyway.
But let's face it, the reason I like the thin crust so much is, I mean, I like the texture and all that, but it's mainly because of the calories. When it comes down to it, right down to it with me, the only reason, I mean, it's because of calories. Because why wouldn't you want just the biggest that you can get? So I would have the Motor City because it has that big, thick crust. And I would have Screaming Sicilian.
DiGiorno croissant crust, those were good.
Those were good. I would go to that one that we could only find in Georgetown.
Oh, yeah.
That Pep's. Is it
Brew
Pep's
House.
Brew House?
Yeah.
Those were good. Those were awesome.
They probably
pizzas.
don't have any more either.
They probably don't.
I could see pizzas being good. You know, I
like Home Run In.
I like a thin crust pizza. When we used to go out to Pizza Hut and you get the pitcher of Coke, which was interesting. I used to get thin crust.
I like thin crust too.
I like the crunchiness of it.
But there's a difference in a Pizza Hut thin crust where they put all that stuff on it.
That's true.
And the ones that we've been buying, which are lower in calorie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they don't have they're lower in calorie because they don't put as much stuff on
Pizza
them.
Pizza would be good though. I could see pizza, but
donuts. I would eat donuts every day. Krispy Kreme.
Like that would be your breakfast.
Krispy Kreme donuts. I also love those Gigi's cupcakes.
Oh, yeah,
the Cheesecake Factory. I would be getting that Adams peanut butter. Yeah.
All the sweets.
All the sweets. So for me, it's all about the sweets. Like I could eat sweets from morning till night and forget the pizza, honestly. But if calories didn't matter, then yes, of course. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be a sweet life for Tammy.
Mm-hmm. She wouldn't have any teeth left, but her teeth would rot out.
Okay, let's see. What is your favorite meal for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner?
Kind of said that already.
Your favorite meal? No, you just said if calories.
Well, but your favorite would be, you can't think of calories when you're thinking about your favorite.
Oh, my favorite? Oh, no. My favorite breakfast.
If you're talking about your favorites,
okay.
My favorites are something I really probably shouldn't eat.
My favorites.
Breakfast.
My favorite breakfast is when we go to Hawaii and we eat at that Max 24/7. Oh, and I get the pancakes because I've said this before. It's cake for
cake
breakfast.
On a plate. That's
it's
what
cake on a plate are those pancakes. And they're this big. They're thick. That's my favorite breakfast is pancakes with tons of butter and syrup.
I can agree with that kind of breakfast is definitely mine. Mine's probably more of the full English.
Oh yeah, Kevin likes the bacon. He likes all that stuff.
They put mushrooms, like grilled mushrooms. I'm not so much into the beans.
What about the tomato?
The tomato's good, but the beans, I don't really like the beans. But the sausage and the bacon and the eggs and all that, that's my kind of breakfast.
Kevin likes that full English breakfast.
Yeah, that's a pretty good breakfast. For lunch, what would you do? For lunch, I'd probably have a really good, like, big sub sandwich.
Oh, that sounds good. Like Firehouse Subs.
Yeah, like a really
Firehouse
good
Subs is awesome because they toast, they heat it up. And
it's got some good flavors to it.
I could do that with you. Yeah. I'll do a Firehouse Sub with you.
That's probably one of my favorite, like, lunches.
Yeah, I could do that.
And then dinners, like I said, it kind of rotates between those three. Steak and potato, pizza, and burgers. Those are kind of my favorite three.
I love, though, like Kevin's fried chicken. I love Kevin's fried chicken. I love them.
I couldn't eat that every night, though.
I love stuffed shells. So there's a recipe on the channel. Kevin's recipe for chicken's on the channel. But the stuffed shells, I love those. I like heavy. I like heavy.
We like
meals.
comfort food.
Yeah.
Like pork loins, fried pork loins.
Fried. It needs to be fried.
Yeah, you gotta have some grease involved, or it's not any good.
Yes. Yes. Forget baked.
Yeah.
Yeah, baked chicken.
And for like a dessert, like I said, I would pick ice cream pretty much for dessert anytime.
And Kevin's more of the ice cream type person. I'm more of a brownie, an ooey gooey brownie.
Or really soft cookies.
Soft cookie. Yeah, I'm more about the baked goods where Kevin loves that ice cream. Yeah. Okay. Now that we've made everyone hungry watching this, what is your favorite holiday and why? I can tell you mine right off.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Christmas.
Oh, is Christmas your
I
favorite?
love Christmas the best. Yes, because I love...
I was going to say Christmas too.
I love, first of all the decorations. I love the decorations. It makes me happy. I love the lights on the tree. I love
the lights outside.
I love the lights outside. I love once we get presents wrapped and under the tree. I like the whole look of that.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of vintage and a lot of just childhood memories, but I really love buying for people. And we have grandkids, and I love buying for our kids, and I love buying for those grandkids, and nothing pleases me more than on Christmas to see, it makes me happy to see them opening their gifts. That makes me happy. If I don't need to get one thing for Christmas, I don't need to get anything at all.
We usually tell them that too.
I just like to see them get their stuff and open their stuff.
I agree.
That's why I like Christmas.
Same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like to do the decorating though.
Oh.
It's awful. I hate decorating.
Yeah, I like
it
it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah, Tammy's always enjoyed putting the ornaments on the tree and stuff. I hate that.
And one of my favorite things is wrapping gifts. Some people hate to wrap.
I don't like to wrap.
I love it with all my heart. I love to wrap, and I get sad when I'm done. I'm like, and then we'll go out and get something, and it's like, yes, I get to wrap one more gift because we'll get something else. It just makes me happy to wrap. I could wrap, like that could be my job, is wrapping gifts. It just makes me happy. Okay.
Mine would be Christmas too, for the same reason.
Yeah. And you know what? When I was a kid, I wasn't the type, of course you like to get gifts as kids, but I wasn't the type of like, gimme, gimme, gimme. I don't think I was ever that kind of kid anyway, to where it had to be all about me.
Yeah, I was the only child.
Some people, it's all about them, and they want, what are you going to get for me? And what, this is what you can get for me. That's not my love language, I guess, is getting gifts. I don't need to get gifts at all. And so I guess that's why I like Christmas.
That's why we don't buy each other's things for
anniversaries
or Christmas. We usually don't buy anything for Christmas for each other.
No, we really don't, because
we'd rather buy it for other people.
Yeah, I'd rather take that money and spend it on somebody else and make them happy, Okay. Did you both want more children or only want the two that you have?
I never wanted more.
I didn't either. No, we after we had Ashley, are we allowed to talk about private things? Kevin decided...
Whatever you want to do.
Kevin decided...
We did not want any more children.
We did.
And the birth control that Tammy was taking was really messing with you.
Well, you're not... that can cause you to have strokes. They'll tell you that the birth control pills can cause you to have a stroke and all kinds of things. And let's face it, I was obese. And taking birth control. It's probably not the healthiest thing.
But it didn't do any good things for her. So I decided to get a vasectomy.
Yeah.
Right. Well, shortly after Ashley was born.
Yeah, and
I think there's probably not a video on it, but
no, there's not a video. We've never
talked about it.
We've never talked.
I don't mind talking about it. It's just,
I just didn't know if you. I didn't know if that would bother you if people knew or. Yeah, but no, we knew.
No, if you're trying to do family planning, that's probably the best way to do it. Instead of your the female going in to get her tubes tied, which is a much more invasive
I think so too, and I think instead of having her on a medication, a birth control or whatever, or even getting that thing under the skin or whatever, it's just best.
Or an IED or whatever.
I don't know what it's called. Yeah.
The birth control under the skin, then you get the inserts.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's so much easier just to have him do it, and it's a one-time thing.
100%.
And it's 100%, and that was it. Mm-hmm. And so I've never regretted that at all.
No.
Like,
of course, it wasn't done to her.
Huh?
It wasn't done to you.
Yeah, it wasn't done. But I've never had it's like some women get that, like they'll be around a baby and they'll feel like, oh, I want a baby.
No, she gets like that with dogs.
Yeah, I've felt like that about puppies, but I've never ever wanted to have another baby.
No, we were pretty much, we were young when Ashley was born, and we figured, you know what, we want to grow up with her a little bit, and then by the time she's old enough to go out and do her own thing, we'll be at a good age to where we'll be done with kids. You know, we can do our own thing. So yeah, it worked out perfect.
Yeah, I no regrets whatsoever. No. Let's see. What food did you hate as a child but will eat it now?
I'm sure there's plenty of things. I can't think of anything right off because I ate pretty much anything as a kid. I was going to say one that I still won't eat. I was going to say I wouldn't eat gravy as a child, but I still don't eat gravy now. Well, like broccoli and stuff, I still don't like broccoli a lot, but I'll eat it.
And mashed potatoes I wouldn't eat as a child. I still won't eat them now.
Yeah. I'm thinking about some vegetables like broccoli and stuff, but I mean, it's not that I wouldn't eat it as a child. It's just my mom never made stuff.
My mom didn't make broccoli.
Yeah. We had like kale and stuff like that, spinach and stuff. We didn't have
kale.
Mom would open a can of kale at least once a week.
Of kale?
Yeah, like spinach, kale, cans in the water. Yeah. You put lots of vinegar on it, it kills the flavor. That's what I used to do. Vinegar.
Yeah, that's the thing is our parents were of the generation where you boil all nutritional value out of it. You just boil it to death. Yeah. What did I not like as a child that I like now?
I can think of things I ate as a child I don't eat now, but I can't think of the other way. Mm-hmm. I can't think of anything, honestly.
No, because I would eat, I know. Hamburgers on a bun. As a kid, I would not eat a hamburger on a bun.
Which is weird.
It was like, no, absolutely not. When my parents would make hamburgers at home, I would eat it on a plate, just plain hamburger, no cheese. I would have the hamburger on a plate, and I would use Worcestershire sauce, which I still love. But I would not eat it on a bun. So you're probably wondering, well, what would happen when you all would go to McDonald's? I would get the fillet of fish. I was the kid getting the fillet of fish, and I think I've told this story before. I had a friend who had a slumber party, and her mother stopped at McDonald's and got us food, and I could tell her mother was miffed when the daughter told her, Tammy doesn't eat hamburgers, she has to get the fillet of fish, because that mother was ordering a Happy Meal for everybody there.
Yeah, they didn't stick fish.
They don't put fillet of fish in a Happy Meal.
They didn't have chicken nuggets back then either.
No, they didn't. And so I could tell by the look on her face that it kind of ticked her off that she was having to pay more to get me a fillet of fish. But I would not eat a cheeseburger. I was probably 13 years old or something before I would eat a hamburger on a bun. So that's my answer to that.
I don't have anything. I can think of it at least. I'm sure there is something. I just can't think of it.
Did your parents ever make you eat something you didn't like?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you were expected to eat what was on your plate when I was a kid.
I can honestly...
Different times, honestly.
For you, but I can honestly say that I really think my mom was real good about that, because she would make like Swiss steak, and it would have it was like country fried steak. That's what I mean. I don't mean Swiss steak. She would make country fried steak, and she would put that white gravy all over the top of the country fried steak, and she would make sure that she reserved, it was basically cube steak fried. she would make sure that she reserved one for me.
Without the stuff?
Without the stuff on it. She would make sure that I did not have to eat the stuff.
But you did the same thing for our kids, too.
I did.
And a lot of times.
A lot of times. Like stuffed peppers, when I would make stuffed peppers, I would not make Aner and Ashley eat the pepper. I would just give them the filling on their plate, which they loved, and they wouldn't have to eat the pepper. Yeah. Or like, how many times did we have like tacos? Oh, yeah. And Ashley would eat the meat. Ashley would just eat the meat because Ashley wouldn't eat the taco shell.
Okay. She leaves tortilla chips and stuff.
But she doesn't eat. She still doesn't.
She doesn't eat tacos.
A lot of She
eats quesadillas. My parents, though, was a little different because my dad worked until like 7 o'clock at night. Mom would almost always make something ahead of time and have it ready for him to heat up. So we got what we got at night, really.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't remember ever being told you eat what's on your plate or go hungry. I was never told that. But it's just like basically, here's what's for dinner. This is it. And if you're hungry, you're going to eat it because, this is it. So I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure I could have made a sandwich or something if I'd wanted to, but I never had the issue to where I didn't want to eat it. I just always ate it because Mom never made anything really weird anyway. So
and I don't feel like
straightforward staple, food. It really wasn't anything odd.
Yeah, my parents were not hard on me about that, and I don't think we were hard on Andrew and Ashley about that. And there's no point to that. There's no point to, why would you want to make somebody eat something that they don't want or
I've heard
they
that
genuinely
leads
don't
to
want?
Other things, I don't know, but I've heard that leads to like eating type disorders and stuff when you're forced to eat things and stuff. I don't know. I just don't believe in making people eat something that they don't want to eat. I wouldn't do that. I just wouldn't do something like that. This was specifically for you. Okay. Would Kevin rather be an airline pilot or an astronaut? Oh Lord, both those terrify me. Probably an airline pilot, although boy, you're in charge of a lot of people. I'm going to say a pilot just because I think there's a lot less chance of blowing up and dying.
The airline pilot? Yeah.
I think, and so many things are, I mean, as an astronaut, you're really automated. You sit in the thing and they shoot you up there. It's not much, but I think I could deal with the airline. I don't think I could deal with space. I think it'd be freaking me out a little bit.
Right. Okay, and we've made it through all the questions. This is the last question that I had. And this is a good question, and I'm surprised nobody's ever asked this before. Where did the clock come from in Tammy's Clock? Because
that's your blog.
That is my my blog. My blog is now tammydunn.net.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
It used to be Tammy's Clock.
My blog used to be called, years ago, it was called Tammy's Clock. And so my Instagram, though,
that's right.
My Instagram is Tammy's Clock. So if you went to look for me on Instagram, I wasn't thinking about, I need to relate my YouTube channel.
Again, we didn't plan it as a business like some of these channels.
Yeah, some people plan it as a business. So they go into it and they plan out, this is my Twitter, this is my Instagram, this is Facebook, this is YouTube, this is all across the board. This is all the same. I didn't plan for that. So I called, years ago I had a blog called Tammy's Clock. Well, I do have a blog now. It's tammydunn.net. So if you haven't been there, you can check it out. The link is always in the description right below this video. In every video, it's in there. Some people just never look at the description. Anyway, when I created my Instagram, I called it Tammy's Clock. And the reason, where did Tammy's Clock come from, is because I have an obsession with clocks. And I just love clocks. And in our old house, we had all kinds of clocks. We had clocks. We had lots of clocks. There was clocks in every room.
Multiple clocks in the room.
Yeah. You would go in, like, in the living room. We would probably have 5 clocks in that one room. I can remember we had a great big one. We had small ones.
It was real fun when the time changed.
Yeah.
And then we'd make a game out of it. Which clock did we forget to change?
Yeah, because there was always one. Like at Christmas, like, where's the Christmas ornament I've left out and I forgot to put up? Same thing with changing the time on the clocks. Yeah, which clock did not get changed? But I had like all kinds of clocks. And then from just trying to reduce the things that we had in the house, I got rid of a lot of those clocks. And so I don't have, gosh, I hardly have.
There's a few sitting around. Some of them don't even have batteries in them.
Yeah, I have very few clocks now. I have very few clocks. But that's why I called it Tammy's Clock, is because I'm crazy about, I like the looks of them, and I've always thought they were just something special to look at. I just like clocks. And I know that's probably a boring answer, but that's just the truth.
And that some of that came from Alice in Wonderland, too.
Alice in Wonderland. And
those kind of whimsical clocks.
And if you've ever played the game American McGee's Alice, they've got clocks in there. And I just like clocks. That's it. That's where it came from. So those are the questions that we had this week. I answered every single question that I saw. If something passed by me, I apologize. Don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm not. If you have another question, leave it below and we'll try to do this again. We'll try to get to it again if we have enough questions. If we don't, then you know, we'll save them up for a while. If I don't get enough questions, then yeah, we'll just save them up or something like that. We'll see how it goes. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much to our Patreon supporters and our YouTube members. You are greatly appreciated. Thank you so much if you've subscribed to the channel.
Donated.
Yes. Donated money. Thank you so very much. Every little bit helps.
Yeah, even if you just click on the video and watch it and don't do one other thing, that's awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. We really do. So, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. Okay. I like how you give me a little squeeze.
You know, and I try to look as happy as possible, and it just always looks the same. I don't know. I smile as big as I possibly can. That's just, I feel like I've got this huge grin up to here, and then I see it afterwards. It's like, man, dude, you can't even tell I'm smiling. Just my face is like, doesn't move up here, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.